Hi, I'm Kayla Jarrett. I graduated fall of 2017 with my BA in English and the professional writing concentration. Now I work in corporate communications, and internal communications specifically. So I work for a company that's a consulting agency, and one of our main clients is Chick-fil-A. So I work on their Chick-fil-A account doing internal communications. So it's mostly communications with restaurants, and there's bunch of different channels. Like we do email, news, articles. Like we have an internal website. So it's mainly my job as content management and content strategy for the website we have, the internal website we have for Chick-fil-A. That's a great question. I I like figuring out the best way to represent content. So not only do I write the content, but I figure out, the best way it should be represented so that it's digested by users in the best way. So that's always been fun to figure out, just the strategy behind not just writing, but how it should be presented as well. I was just trying to figure out after graduation, non-traditional routes. I feel like a lot of people who major in English think like, oh, teaching or, like news, papers or magazines and stuff like that. And which I did have an interest in, but I talked to one of my friends and she worked for the company I work for now. And just talking about how corporate communication is also a really good avenue for English majors because you still get to write, but it's not the traditional, newspaper and creative writing. It's more of the like professional side of things. So I was really interested in that. And then having worked at a Chick-fil-A like restaurant throughout high school and college, it just helped really, I guess, marry my two backgrounds of like English writing and Chick-fil-A. So
Mhm.
when I first started the job, I was tasked with writing two news articles because we write articles and send those out to operators who own Chick-fil-A's as well. And I remember actually thinking of the news writing class I took with you, Professor Miller, with I can't even remember what it's called, but just like having the lead like at the beginning of the sentence. And I was like, oh, I haven't done this in a while, but that was one of the first things I thought of with having to write a news headline was the first, like how important the first two sentences or paragraphs are with pulling the reader in. Definitely try and find non-traditional routes of like with jobs. Because I know like for me it was really frustrating with like trying to just going the usual like publishing routes and not even thinking about all of this content that exists in the world that someone has to write. So just think outside the box and think of like companies where like your favorite companies you get like emails from all the time and just like you see like advertisements and stuff. It's just stuff that like someone had to write that. So thinking about, I would say just, yeah, think outside the box and don't box yourself in.